doing something and nothing, I'd choose to do nothing. But I will do something if it helps someone else do nothing. I'd work all night if it meant nothing got done.
With the world heading more into desperation, into darkness,
took a fucking turn.
Wow.
Shit.
We went all up to you two, like I forgot my antidepressants.
Can you cue the fucking Sith music
this
there?
is about to get happy.
Oh, you had to turn.
I was trying to be positive.
This is a segue.
I'm gonna be positive by being very fucking depressing as I'm carving.
I'm sorry, it's hard without headphones, man. I can't really feel the atmosphere of the show without them.
You want to share a muff? Come on over here. Come on.
Before COVID, we had talked about Kerala, India. There were some issues going on. Monkeys were taking over and killing people and pissing and shitting on people and giving them different diseases and biting them and fucking them and just craziness. And they put a lot of money into, what they would consider a lot of money, into bear suits to ward off the monkeys. I want y'all to know that as COVID has progressed, things have gotten worse. There are reports now that there's a town in Japan. The town is called Takawa. Mm-hmm. And they have put animatronic giant wolves that have red eyes and that snarl and bark strategically placed around the town to ward off the bear problem. We warned of this issue. We said that because that the monkeys would soon know that the bears were not bears, they were people, that they would try mating with bears, and that the bears would absorb the powers of the monkey.
Correct.
This is what's going on there. So they're thinking that animatronic wolves and they look kind of like really shitty Disney World wolves.
So like Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese
I was
wolves.
gonna say Small World, but okay, that works too.
Two monster. Right now, they have two monster-sized ones that are huge. Apparently, the bears are really getting bad. COVID bears are attacking.
No, dude. So you telling me they're gonna have monkey-powered bears that are gonna fuck these animatronic demon wolves, and they're gonna hybrid into a fucking cyborg demon monkey bear?
Yeah, it's called Cygor. Cybernetic gorilla. Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Which translates into the Game of Thrones, what's the big direwolf thing? It's going to be like a direwolf with powers. It's also going to be LEDs.
So, energy efficient.
Energy efficient, and it can run really fast over short sprints. So, it'll be like a Tesla with teeth.
I think the real question is that two important questions. One, does it have Bluetooth? And two, does it have RGB?
It has two teeth.
Several blue teeth.
And also, you can get an LTE plan for an extra $19.95 through AT&T.
With HBO Max.
Fucking right, I want that installed.
Can you imagine? We talk about America and the way that people are burning shit down and all, but it could be worse. We could be getting fucked by monkeys and attacked by bears and have to have animatronic fucking dogs to protect us.
Obviously, you've never been to a gay club on the east side of Houma.
Main Street Lounge?
You're right, I haven't. Good call. Good call.
Like, is anyone else?
Do tell, my man. Do tell.
Hey, man,
was that band you were in? Y'all were doing Scissor Sister covers? Dude. Tits on the radio and shit.
It's not a proud time, but we had to make some money, man. It was rough.
You know, you just put your hair up
for pay.
You just put your hair up in a bun. You might as well like let your hair down and give it a little shake every now and then. But
I'm not doing it here, Phil. You gotta go to the place.
All right, fair enough. But here's the thing that amazes me about the Japanese people trying to ward off those creatures that you just described.
It's not Japanese people.
Yeah, it is.
I thought you said it was in India.
It started in India and it migrated to Japan.
Oh shit! It's an epidemic.
It's an epidemic.
That's what I'm saying. It started with them having to use the bear suits to ward off the monkeys,
right.
And now they're using animatronic wolves to ward off bears.
The bear monkey.
That's
hybrids.
That's a worse thing to me, dude.
So what's next? What happens?
Have you ever seen the video of a guy that's in the fucking woods hunting and the bear's coming at him and he has a 30 on, or even even like a 357, or he has his sidearm 357 mag where he pulls it on that. Dude, a 357 has some severe stopping power.
Yeah, it does.
At point blank. And when that thing is close and he's pop, 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 firing off fucking rounds, I'm going to edit that right there and go like that.
But keep that part in.
And, but it doesn't stop it. But I feel like if I had a gun with some monkeys running around, I could pop off a few. I'm a coon ass, dude. You know how many squirrels I've killed in my life?
This is when we're gonna invent Pokeballs so we can capture them and train them, right?
How do you know that doesn't exist yet? You always say, when are we going to invent this? But you're not 100% sure that any of this shit does not exist already.
I don't, but at the same time, I'm
if
looking
you
at...
went to get a pat on a Pokeball, they'd probably laugh in your face and make you feel like an idiot because they don't want you to know that that's already in a bunker.
But I'm also looking at it from perspective of we're fending off our people with Chuck E. Cheese, sentinels.
Think about if we had giant nutras that were coming in and we had to have something like a animatronic Grobek to ward them off.
I just
Let's put this in context. Yeah. Imagine you sitting at your house grilling something, and all of a sudden you hear this weird ass fucking sound out of nowhere. Wait a minute. I don't like the sound of that.
I just think it's amazing that it doesn't matter what disaster Japan faces, they always manage to solve it by building a giant robot.
You're right, huh?
Dude, did you see that?
Mechagodzilla?
No, did you see that 50-foot Gundam that they had?
It's a real Gundam.
It's a legit Gundam.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
And you know what? That's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just what we get to.
Is that where gargoyles on buildings started?
On Gundams? What?
Gargoyles, remember like the gargoyles?
Yeah,
Is that where that started?
In Japan?
Yeah.
No,
it was in New York.
Nah, New York ain't fucking original enough for nothing.
That's where they started. Yeah, it was a bunch of 4 dudes and that one lady. And nature.
During the great expansion of religion across Europe during the medieval time period on its way to the Renaissance, they would start over in Portugal, work their way up to Spain, through France, England, UK, Germany, all over. And
I believe you.
It is like, no, I'm giving you some art history here.
I believe you.
Like it was essentially a ward, a guardian to fight off demons, especially during times of plague. I'm like, for Christ's sakes, during the plague times, the way that the Pope did not get infected by the plague, he was surrounded by a wall of fucking fire.
That's badass.
How metal is that?
That's fucking
That is pretty
cool.
badass.
So he saved himself with Satan.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So 280 miles is how long the Colorado River is. And a kid that's 10 years old kayaked the entire 280.
Wow.
Immediately when I read the article and then I watched the video on YouTube, I said to myself, should I be impressed by this? I immediately thought bad parenting.
You know what? I think the answer should be yes, you should be impressed by this, because just think and remember how many uppity bitch cunt kids you deal with on a daily basis.
Think about how many white kids died prior to that kid trying.
Not enough.
Well, I'll tell you what. At least he wasn't at home downloading his Xbox on his PS4 or whatever the fuck. At least he was doing something legit by sitting in a little canoe and letting the river take him down.
You remember when you could first download JPEGs and shit like that to your PS3, PS2, PS3?
Yeah.
And have images on it?
That was amazing.
I sent my buddy a picture of a huge naked black chick, and for some reason his stepmom turned, like, why would you turn on my PlayStation, turned on his PlayStation and found it as the background. And then she sat down and had a long Jesus talk with him because she wanted to know what it was.
She didn't know what it was?
She knew what it was, but she didn't know why he wanted it.
You see, Mom, it's like a...
And then he lied and said, I don't know how to delete it.
Someone put it on here. I didn't do that.
Yeah, it's a virus.
I remember when MMS messaging was new.
AOL, AIM. Come on, dude.
Phil still has his AOL account. That's his little private account.
Yeah, we talk on ICQ.
That's some deep cuts.
You're still using dial-up?
Well, yeah, I gotta download Bark of the Moon somehow.
I was gonna say Doom, but okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kid did that shit, and then they asked him how was it? And he was like, it was sick. And that was
How long did it take him?
a couple days. Like, they stop along the way. I mean, it's 280 miles. You don't go so far.
Oh, it's not like a continuous journey.
No, he's a little queer. He couldn't do that.
You just pack some ladyfinger sandwiches or something, and travel.
Give it to me fresh and wriggling process.
Like, give him some, like, a Lunchable, some Capri Suns, maybe a juice cup.
He's wearing adult diapers. He can shit and piss himself until 280.
If he could do it in one shot, then I'd be impressed.
Driving 280 going 70 on the fucking highway. It takes you about 4 hours, and a kayak's will take you a lot fucking longer.
Or if he did it upstream,
Yeah.
like the whole way.
Oh, if he did it upstream, I will be impressed, okay? But if he's just coasting it downstream, I'm like, what a bitch.
I sat in my chair today, too. Good job. Good job, man.
The only difference between you and me, you actually went somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I was like, how hard is it? He's going downstream.
You're just sitting down.
Here's the thing about the Colorado River.
He's 10.
didn't?
The headline's he's 10.
Oh, you didn't
That he
die.
went outside.
And not to mention, he's one of those kids with a cuck name. His name's Bodie.
Oh, what a bitch. Fuck that guy.
Bodie what?
I love the big waves. I like turtles. But, yeah, dumb shit like that's going on.
I'm glad that made headline, because that's important.
Yeah, I mean, he don't even get 15 minutes of fame, because we didn't record for 15 minutes. And we're the only people that ever talked about it, besides this fucking dog pile site I found from the UK that has 2 likes, and both of his parents liked it.
Did you just Google shit that no one talks about?
I use 3 sources of news from overseas. I don't like to disclose them because I'm not sure if they're factual, but I like to portray them as factual, being that we are an entertainment source, not a news source. The news we tell you is to get you thinking.
Some of it's true.
It is true, but it's for you to decipher what's true, just like everything else.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that CNN says some stuff that's real, like when they say, "Hi, my name is Dick Sucker."
Probably not.
I don't know.
Or maybe it's worth Dick Chode.
When you got a
Dick
name
Chodson.
when you got a poor name like Dick Wolf, I don't believe you. So
Right. But I get what you're saying. We're the seasoning.
I am Wolf Anus. Clap for the Wolf Man.
So I would say this about the Colorado River involving that 10-year-old. I am impressed by that because I just looked up the class of river that the entire river is. It's actually a class 4 and 5.
He did it in the off season.
So it's a
Class
3
1.
Well, if the class 1 is a lazy river, that's essentially what it is. Calm, no rapids, no waves, no nothing. Just slow ride, take it easy. 4 and 5 are Olympic grade rapids that you have to navigate safely or you're going to drown and die.
Let me tell you something, Nick. I'd have been a lot better off if the son bitch would have been kayaking through a fucking hurricane level 5 or something. Then I could have gave him some props like, bro, we got cool ass kids down here. We do that shit all the time. We pirogue. I pirogued almost 600 miles in a fucking tsunami one time. Bro, a water spout, 2 of them came, bro. And all of a sudden, the dude was in the pickup truck. He was chasing the water spout. I was out in my pirogue. It picked me up 400, 500, 7,000 feet in the air, bro. And then dropped me down. And then I turned around and Helen Cunt was in the shower. And then all of a sudden they had a turbine. I don't know where the Arabs came into play with the turbines, but it was on the head.
See, I'd be more impressed if the kid actually.
Roll the maps.
I'll be more impressed if the kid actually kayak down a river of lava. Then
I
I'll
would
be
have been
impressed.
more impressed if you would have kayaked off the side of a cliff. And then the Cliff Orphanage would have definitely been a good way to go.
Go park on the cliff wharf.
I got something I want to say. We got a show coming up about a week or two, Sam. Thanksgiving's coming up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Are you thankful for anything, Sam?
I'm thankful for a lot of things.
Like what?
One of them is how I can feel like a person sometimes, and I'm starting to understand when I could turn it on and turn it off at will, not on accident. You know, like some things you don't want to feel like a person for, like the monotonous day-to-day shit. But there's times you want to feel alive, and there was a point in time a couple weeks ago that we really felt alive, and that was at the Cajun Twist.
We're going down to the Cajun Twist, yeah. So we went down. We went down there to the Cajun Twist. We ate some oyster po' boy. This is the best po' boy I ever had in my life.
It was
bro.
fucking delicious.
And
Yeah.
bro, let me tell you something. Before Grove On got there, no oysters. They ran out. And my partner Anthony, he said, bro, he said, I'm going down the bayou, man. And this is how he said it, just like this. Just let me straighten out, bro. Like straight up, just no bullshit. He said, I'm going to find you some oysters, Grove On. I said, bro, you ain't gotta fucking do that, bro. Don't let you wait for Grove On. I ain't no up there, Frilly Patelli, Pooty Patooty, whatever they call that. I said, but if you really want to, bad, I ain't gonna be mad at you. That's a fucking shit. But that son bitch drove all the way down to the fucking island. When you get Grove On, a whole gallon of oysters came back and cooked it for me. And bro, let me tell you something, bro. You could taste the Gulf of Mexico. And which I don't really care for that term. I think it should be the Gulf of fucking Louisiana, bro. Because we take up most of it. I mean, if you go out in the Gulf at any given time, they got more coon asses than anything else out there. If you look at drone footage, it looks like a school of dolphins out there or something. But we talked to Anthony for a little while. And we got a show coming with the Cajun Twist on that around Thanksgiving time.
What are you thankful for, Grovon?
Thankful that Natty Light did not go out of business during COVID. I'm also thankful for the dude, the black dude at the Murphy gas station today. He was pumping his gases. I was pumping my gases. He was hitting him a little doobie, they call that. And I said, boo, that smells good, bro. And he passed that to me. I'm thankful for that. And I'm also thankful anytime I catch me a lemon of reds. But that's about it, bro. Other than that, fuck it.
That's a good one.
Let me ask you something, you Yankee son of a bitch, me. You thankful for anything, or because you're from up north, y'all don't like the Indians?
First off, we have a baseball team called the Cleveland Indians, so we
Not
like
for long.
we like the Indians.
Joe Budden has y'all just gonna be called the Clevelands.
Welcome to the Clevelands.
Clevelands.
The Cleveland.
The Clevelands are now gonna face the Cincinnati's.
What were you doing about a year ago from now?
Contemplating suicide, to be honest with you.
So getting a jump start on that calendar day.
Yes,
huh?
exactly. Happy Death Day.
So no, we saved you. You're like the child. And
Yes.
death was the frog.
Death is the frog.
Well, that's
No, like I'm very thankful. You know, I'm thankful for the child. I'm thankful for the brotherhood that we have. I'm thankful for the show, for our listeners. Fuck you, India.
Keep listening, though.
Keep listening.
Really enjoy that you.
Except for Canada, y'all do not have to listen. It's okay.
Hey! Don't fuck with Canada. There's one guy in
There's
Canada
one guy that likes our
that
show.
likes the show in Canada.
And he's in that Sarasota, Canada, or whatever, like right in the middle where it's frozen.
Yeah.
But we're the only podcast he can catch.
Wait, time
for
out.
some reason.
Are you saying that this uppity motherfucker's in Moose Jaws, Canada? Am I hearing this right? Because that's like the center
It's
of the
wherever
country.
the ground is frozen for a mile already deep.
It's so cold.
So we're talking permafrost area.
It never thaws. It's like in that tundra area right in the middle up north.
So this episode's dedicated to you.
I think we need to do him a favor and encourage global warming.
Shout out to you, Moose Knuckle.
I think we need to encourage global warming so that lazy uppity motherfucker can go out and mow some grass because it's all covered with permafrost and it's just sitting there not doing.
I've actually been to Canada twice, both ends, West Coast and East Coast.
Was it by accident?
No, I went for work, and it was actually cool.
It's probably really nice. Like
It
to
was
look,
beautiful, actually.
Yeah, to see everything.
Vancouver is a cool ass city, man.
A lot of good
There's a
comedians
lot
come out
of
of
really
Canada.
cool people there. There's also a lot of really fucking shitty people too. But that's, I guess, it's just like anywhere.
Yeah.
But the shitty people there are like Antifa all the time, like just constant. They never shut down. It's like, dude, you gotta fucking just. Y'all have legalized marijuana. Chill. Just chill the fuck out.
Well, what's crazy is they have maple syrup on tap over there, and they use it as currency. Is that true?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it is true because
Is that right?
Wayne Gretzky actually confirmed it at his many restaurants there. That's across the street from Wahlburgers. So,
Up there, you know what they call them? You know how in the States they call them old gray wad? They call them old sticky lips up there.
Oh, okay. Is it like the Mrs. Buthersworth kind or the Aunt Jemima kind?
Just think if they made an urban off-brand one called Mr. Brothersworth.
Come on, get this sticky delicious.
I think Fubu needs to get into the maple syrup business. All right.
Oh man, who's that guy on Shark Tank? Hit him up.
Mark.
I'm like, yo, you need to get on the phone with KFC.
Not
come
Mark
out with the
Cuban,
chicken waffle.
the one that owns Fubu, dumbass.
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban owns it all. They're just stand-ins.
Oh, they're just hanging out.
They're just hanging out with them.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He owns the Dallas Vaginas. But, yeah, so, what else?
Cajun Twist coming up, which is gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, the Cajun Twist is going to be a really good show. I'm super stoked. Can't wait for you guys to hear it. We also wrote a song for the Cajun Twist.
And look, I really like how we're giving a segment to something coming up in the future because we already have it. We can't do that with anything else.
It's a first.
Yeah, so
It's
you
a
heard it
first.
here first. This is DSR from the past talking about the future, but this is the past for you because you're listening to it later, but it's still about the future because it didn't happen yet.
So really, to them, it'll be the present, and we're talking about a future show.
It cancels out. Guys.
It's like if Legends of Future Past Tense was yesterday. You feel me?
Yeah, that's what they say in German. It's called Freunde besuchen.
You could do whatever you want to your bazooka band, but you can not do it in public. Also, I want to give a shout out to the man who was masturbating in the big lots in Thibodaux,
Oh my
Louisiana
God.
2 days ago. He was in the Christmas aisle where all the lights were, and he was stroking his man trunk. They go land.
See, I actually want to talk about that. Thanks for reminding me about that story that I forwarded to you, or you probably heard about it. I'm pretty sure it went something like this. He was going up and down the Christmas tree aisle, and he was just humming.
The whole thing is when a man smells pine, even out in the woods, the first smell of it
It gives you a
gives you
rise.
wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he just felt like he had to get our local newspaper, the Home Carrier. They did that establishment wrong because they wouldn't say what store the guy was beaten off in.
They claimed is like, man masturbates at big box store.
Big box store, and it said on the 400th block of North Canal Boulevard. So the 400th block is either Big Lots,
Or
the
Walmart.
nail. No, that's
no.
the 500th
Oh, that's
block.
500. Okay.
So Big Lots, the nail place, are 5 guys.
Well, you never know, dude.
I was like, wait,
never
The
know.
big box nail store.
There's a lot of money in nails nowadays.
They don't put them on or take them off or any of that shit. They just sell them.
like, what kind of polish is this? It's semen.
Skeet, bitch.
Speaking of skeeting, I'm glad that all 3 seasons of Chappelle is on Netflix now.
Oh
I'm
my
going to
God,
go back
yes.
and rewatch all that.
Dude,
So good for you, Netflix.
did you see Chappelle's opening monologue on SNL?
I did.
You
yeah,
did.
I watched that.
I didn't watch it.
You don't not okay.
It's fucking good.
He
man.
he calls out the woke establishment in New York City, which is like woke heartland, and he's like, "Yo, I'm sorry. I thought this was a comedy show." You know, like he said something like racy and dicey. Like it's Chappelle. He's gonna.
Yeah, he's going to push the envelope.
There
gonna
was
push the envelope.
serious crickets in that building after he said that shit.
Yeah.
And
I love that he has so much money that he just don't give a fuck. He's like, you asked me to be here, motherfucker.
he never did though. Even when
Yeah.
he didn't have money. So
But even now, because he's older.
even more now.
You
Dude,
know,
he walks out smoking a cigarette inside a building in New York,
in New York City, yeah.
and
And what they going to do?
They
He's like, I'm Dave Chappelle.
They accommodated him. They literally brought up a stool and an ashtray.
And you could see all these little kids like face like, oh, what the fuck is he doing?
Like that. Like
He's
that.
vaping with fire.
He's like, that vape is so basic. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's so primitive.
They're lucky it wasn't a fucking joint.
Like who says?
sure it
like
would
who
be
says?
if it
Who
could.
says he wasn't backstage with a razor blade cutting open up that? You know.
You never know, dude.
Like-
It wasn't weed smoke, you could tell.
Yeah.
But
It wasn't green. The smoke wasn't fluorescent green.
it wasn't Slimer.
Like, and here's the crazy thing too: is like after that episode aired on SNL, NBC with Dave Chappelle, their ratings spiked because of him. Because 3 years ago, almost to the day, no, it wasn't to the day. It was like later after Trump was, during the Trump inauguration. He gave a heartwarming speech. I'm like, hey, I'm willing to give this guy a chance, as we should
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And then he later retracts that because of all the shit that happened with Russiagate that ended up being false. And same thing again. So basically, he said, I'm back to save your ass again because your ratings suck. And but I do love the story on. Chappelle acknowledged that, hey, my shit's on Netflix, and I didn't get a damn thing from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, your agent sucks.
Well, I mean, it was on Netflix before, then it got taken off, and then now it's back on. And I don't know how many times that happened. It's probably happened more than twice at this point. And legality shit, probably something written in a clause where Netflix now displays your shit whenever we fucking want to, and we could take it off.
Because of something they have with a pre-existing condition
Yeah.
with Comedy Central.
So there's absolutely nothing that he could do
Nothing he can do.
anyway. So he's still getting boned by Comedy Central.
Well, I will say this about Comedy Central is like when they did the whole double C logo.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's this communist bullshit? Because the first time I saw that was when Jon Stewart was still on Daily Show.
Mm-hmm.
I missed the globe with the city, with the Crooked
Well,
City logo.
Yeah.
I'm like seeing the old school Comedy Central logo on Dave Chappelle's show on Netflix. I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. The new logo sucks.
It does. It's like Cartoon Network just continued.
Fucking hey, don't even get me started with that one. I want the checkerboard back.
Yeah.
I don't want the CN bullshit.
You nostalgic fuck.
I am like it comes. It's not a matter of being nostalgic. It's a matter of having good taste in design.
Yeah, but you can't have nice
Phil
things.
wants one of those cosplay girls dressed in a Cartoon Network onesie coming all over his face.
You know, I would actually prefer the guy at Big Lots coming over to Christmas trees.
Pine. Did you just get a fresh tree?
There's something about that new costume.
I was like, I'm just covered with pine air fresheners that you get at the gas station.
Oh man.
And if you're the farting star and you can hear us out there, we come a lot in peace. So
Sometimes
don't be
supposed to
mad.
Sometimes in a pine tree.
Sometimes
Skate, motherfucker!
in a goblet of fire.
A knob goblet.
The knob goblins are coming, Ernest.
Hey, there's the little minions. The little knob gobblers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Minions are cool, man. Because they don't have a whole lot of teeth where they bite big chunks out of you, but they're just annoying as fuck.
So it's basically a gum job biter.
Teethless minions would be cool, where they
Teethless
just
minions.
they give you a bunch of hickeys.
Well, yeah, I can see that.
So we got a lot of cool things coming up.
Even more on the back end.
See, going back.
We're coming up on our 50th episode, guys.
We really
Jesus
are, man.
Christ.
It's true. This one's probably going to be like 44, 45,
somewhere.
mid 40s.
40-ish.
This is almost kind of like breaking the fourth wall, because like whenever I go and listen to this episode and review and be like, hey Tyler, you're doing great today, buddy. Keep up the good fucking work. I know you're tired.
Do you really record your own self-help tape?
See,
I haven't yet, but I do when I go to sleep. I just hum in my own ears.
Are you gonna make your own ASMR?
you hear that? It's like you're sucking your own your
I
own
don't
dick
know what
virtually.
it is,
All right.
but the sound of my voice is so soothing to myself.
It resonates in the blood echoes.
Bop, bop,
Whenever
bop,
I hear
bop.
myself, when I listen back to our episodes, I couldn't go to sleep to that, man, because the sound of my voice and the shit that I say pisses me off and gives me anxiety.
Bro, like, okay.
Like, I want to fight with myself. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, you fucking idiot? I'm like, fuck you, man.
This is why I don't even listen to our own show.
I was reviewing our YouTube, which we're also on YouTube, DSR Talks. And I was going back and listen to older episodes, and now that the artwork is done on a good bit of them, I like to go and, review the episode that I haven't heard in fucking 6-8 months at this point, and look at the graphic and kind of take in the whole experience. And believe it or not, it feels like all of our voices got lower this year. Like, I spoke a lot higher pitched.
Is it the double full moons, you think?
I don't know.
I think it's just because our balls dropped at the same time.
Are we on the same cycle?
Yes, we are.
No.
First you get depressed,
We
and I
might
get
be.
depressed.
We very well could be.
That's a thing. Nut cycle?
That's exactly what it is.
Nut cycling on the next Jenny
So basically what a nut cycle is that when one of us comes, because we all have like a deep trifecta symbiotic relationship, when one of us comes, the other two respond, yeah, boy!
Did you steal that from a Justin Timberlake song?
Cry me a river.
I think those are lyrics verbatim.
Yeah.
You would know.
No.
You fucking know.
No.
But yeah, it's really weird. Like, I think it's something to do with us opening the space-time continuum, because almost everything we say on the show is actually a prediction for the future, and it happens.
I also believe that here's my prediction for the future coming up in short term.
Yeah, give us something good.
Like the lotto numbers.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been declared winners of the election.
Yeah.
Dude.
Trump has already shown defiance, telling his staff to continue what they were planning on doing after the first of the year because there will be no change. Joe Biden's trying to get his son's laptop back, so something is there with the Ukraine thing.
Obviously.
But I also believe that Joe Biden has orchestrated all of this already with Trump. I believe that Trump gave the money to Ukraine to give to his son, knowing that if the son turns over the Ukrainians, he will walk free on furlough, and Joe Biden will turn over the White House back to Trump. And it's all been orchestrated already because it's all a ploy.
So we're all watching the play, the grand play.
You
Is
like
this
it?
what this is?
I like it.
I'm a grand optimist,
So here's the thing.
the world's best pessimist.
I'm going to disagree with you. Trump is not in defiance. He has fallen the law. The news media cannot declare a victor in any election. It was tradition that they did if the numbers were obvious. These numbers have never been this close in U.S. history. There is a legal process in play, thanks to the Constitution, and no one can officially notarize those votes. It's all up to each state's legislative body. So, and here's the kicker that you probably didn't think of. 3 out of 9 Supreme Court justices, the most recent one is ABC or ACB that just got voted. She was on W's legal team during Gore v. Bush with the whole Florida votes. So, six states.
It's not coincidental that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died in such a timely fashion, right before the biggest election of the modern world.
Are you saying that AOC,
No, I believe that Hillary had her killed, and that all this is going to come out one day after Hillary's long and dead. All the memoirs, I can't wait till all these people die, because then we're going to be able to know, then we'll actually know the truth, because that's when people can actually talk. Mm-hmm. But Hillary probably had her off, knowing that the election was stolen from her, that she was promised by the Democratic Party, and all the Republicans that are in Congress are all in on it too. They all know what's going on. It's all a big bullshit scam just to fool the American people. Because at the end of the day, what's the most important thing in the country?
Ratings on Fox and CNN.
Chaos.
Well, yeah, that.
If chaos ensues, you're able to control. So
the best thing you can control is the thing you can't. Men and women who abuse their spouses, their significant others, or their children using psychological warfare are the most deadly. Mm-hmm. And our government's the same way. They use psychological warfare on us from both sides and the middle to keep us all confused about what's going on. And if you start to see through the bullshit and realize that they're all in bed together paying each other for dirty war crimes, and the war crimes are against us. It's not against other countries, it's not against other nations, it's not against other races. It's against us, the American people. And the division between us is because they put it there.
Yep.
I believe that nobody really wants to fight anybody. But truthfully, if you want to get honest with yourself, America and throughout the world, people are segregated by nature. You don't hang out with people that you don't like or don't have like interests in because you don't like them, and you can't get along with them because you're not friends. Everybody has family and friends that are like that in this world. You just can't get along. So the idea that everybody can is false. So individual segregation of communities is on us. It's not because of race or what religion you are. I don't care if you're a Christian or you're gay or you're black or you're Asian or you're Buddhist. I just give a fuck if we have like interests and we're cool together and we can hang out and be friends. If not, I've segregated myself to my circles and that's it. So that's the reality of what the world is facing right now, without taking that bite of the shit sandwich, swallowing hard, and taking reality for what it is. When people hear hard facts like that, it hurts them. It pricks their heart and it triggers them. And we don't know why it does. It just does. But if you could understand that truth, as harsh as it is, and accept it, we wouldn't have a government that would be able to overtake us the way it does. We'd actually have a leg to stand on to fight back against it.
This is the ultimate case of damn if you do, damn if you don't. The riots, looting, fires are not going to stop regardless of who's in the Oval Office at the end of the day. My prediction right now, after all these lawsuits are filed and court is adjourned, I honestly think Trump is going to come back for a second term. If not, and that's fine too, as long as they verify that yes, there are some ballots that are irregular and they were able to root the source of the problem. As long as the election process is fair after that investigation, okay, fine, cool. I'll take my licks like a man. I'm not gonna burn your city down. I'm not gonna loot like these fucking liberal bastards, because I'm a fucking grown ass adult. All right, but I'd rather have these proceedings go forward to uncover the truth, because not every day a 127-year-old wakes up from the dead and fucking casts a vote in Michigan.
That's my prediction. Also, my secondary prediction is that, and I'm hoping this really does happen. I'm hoping that a big piece of space shit flies past the Earth so fast that it reverses the spin on the Earth, and then all of a sudden we just shit and puke ourselves to death and it's done.
I don't think.
Can you imagine if that was our demise, that we actually, as a world, after everything going on, COVID, Al Qaeda, 9/11, Jean Bonnet,
The Rosie O'Donnell Show.
Big Jackie,
integral parts of human history.
interdimensional murder hornets, and we all shit and puke ourselves to death.
So essentially, what you're saying is that Elvis Presley was hypersensitive to future activities. That he set the trend when he died in the 70s.
Well, I think all the peanut butter and nanner sandwiches did that shit.
And you're saying that heroin is completely safe to use, and it wasn't because of an OD.
Apparently, it is in Oregon because they've just legalized heroin, meth, and cocaine in the state.
Along with marijuana as well, too.
Well,
For
marijuana's
recreation.
already been.
And then watch, that's gonna actually help out with the drug culture. I believe that. I really do.
How do you feel that?
The reason why is because as soon as someone takes away something from you, it's a lot easier to get it. So if it's available, maybe I'll back off
Do you
of
think
it.
it has something to do like the whole childish mentality of, well, I'm telling you can't fucking do it, so I'm gonna do it, and now I'm telling you that you can, and so I don't really fucking.
I mean,
need
I
to.
think there's a part of that for like your people that haven't been hooked on it. You know, like people that aren't reliant on that from a day-to-day system. They don't give a shit if what you think about them using is, you know. A younger cat that just started doing this shit, yeah, it might change their influence like that. But
How many people actually want to clean up off of that shit though?
A lot, man.
Really, you feel like a lot want to? Because I feel like a lot like it.
I'm sure they do, but a lot are tied to that financially.
But that's the whole thing. They're only down. I can't afford it because it's expensive. I just can't afford it.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't want to. It's that I just don't have enough money to feed the need.
See, this is
That's want to.
this is a perfect.
That's the same thing.
This is
I guess.
That's the same coin.
this
I
is
mean,
a-
is it not? Just because, you know, if I wanted to have...
But I'm saying, does it make it all right? So if I was a millionaire and I was constantly doing meth and I never was a leech on society, is that okay?
Sure.
How
I think
productive
So as
are
long
you?
as I'm not shitting in the street,
if you're
like,
not,
that's the
if you're not
mentality?
fucking with my jive or the rest of the other people around you, then do you. That's how I look at it.
I just don't see how legalizing it and saying that you're gonna take all this tax money toward rehabilitation. Rehabilitation doesn't work. Just make it legal and say fuck it. Do what you want. It don't matter if you fuck a pig in the street. That's all I'm saying. To say instead of incarcerating, it's all about rehabilitation. The rehabilitation is all about putting them on more drugs from the federal government. So now they're regulating your fucking high instead of you going out and shooting it up into your fucking arm.
Well, a solid percentage of these people that are trapped in that lifestyle is because of the pharmaceutical drugs they were on previously.
It's just a vicious cycle. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
It is.
You're talking about going from one to another and then back to it again.
Yeah.
So if it started because of people that were on methadone at some point in their life and that shit isn't around anymore or whatever's going on with it, or they're not prescribing it as much, or Xanax or whatever it is, and now they can get meth on the street or heroin or whatever their fix is to get that type of high, and now they're right back into our system, and our taxpayer dollars are paying for them to get fed drugs by the government again.
Well, I don't agree with that part. Just because I feel a certain way doesn't mean I have
That's
to.
the agenda.
That I don't have to agree with the method. You know.
I like what you did there.
I mean, it's you like that one.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
that one. That was good.
So.
Tyler loves to word fuck some scenarios.
I mean, just because of the way something is doesn't mean I have to believe it a different way. And it all comes down to how much are you fucking with me personally and the ones I care about.
And it doesn't bother me, except for the fact that I love hearing about this shit, because that says I never want to go there again.
Dude, I would,
and that's fine.
I would rather see someone try something different than keep fucking the same way.
And you're right.
You know what I mean? Some way of progression.
But do you not believe that that's what the country did when we voted Trump in?
Well,
We had been in the same rut all those years, as long as I can remember in my adult life, and we tried something completely off the wall and different. There really hasn't been anything so drastic since Trump.
well, they did drop all those pain pills in New Orleans in the 90s. They did do that.
So here's
That really happened.
Yeah, but I didn't get any.
No, I didn't either. I was 5. I don't even think it was 5. But serious, man, like I really do feel for people that are on this shit. And I've had a lot of good friends of mine that died from being overdosed on fentanyl, which was laced in their shit that they were using. And dude, I don't know if this is like some new information, but a lot of the Xanax that's going around is now laced with fentanyl too.
And a lot of amazing artists from the area,
Yeah.
not just graphically but musically, have died because...
You think there's a correlation there, man?
Absolutely.
Some demons?
Absolutely. Every musician I've ever known on either side has had some type of vice. And that vice doesn't always have to be a drug.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like, I know guys that were awesome musicians that never put a drug in a body and never took a sip of alcohol, but was addicted to hookers. So every bit of money they ever made on a gig went into pussy at the end of the night.
What do you think that is, or why do you connect those dots? Why? It makes sense in my head too. What is the A to B there?
You ever heard of a goddamn musician sitting around saying, I became a musician because I absolutely love music and I want to help people? It's because your parents split up. It's because your dad beat the fuck out of you. It's because you were that kid that was awkward and didn't know who the fuck you were. You didn't know how to express yourself, whether it's through the strum of a guitar, the pick of a bass, or the beat of a drum. That's why. It's because it's all music and art all comes with a dark, demonic side to it. You know? And I feel like a lot of times you can take that darkness, you can turn it into one thing, or it's going to consume you and kill you. And you see that throughout history of artists. Who was the fucking guy that cut his own ear off?
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. Like, pure genius, but, you know, couldn't have enough
There's always
common sense.
always going to be a balance.
There you go.
So you could be very inclined to say that your gift also comes with its curse. And for people that aren't artists, not because you have an iPhone and take pictures, that's not an artist. But the people that genuinely...
And we're not talking about Chinese kids that get beat into playing the violin really good either.
No.
Or piano.
But those people that connect on that level with just themselves have to go deeper than the average person, because it's coming from somewhere. That output is not just phantomly generated.
Every person that I've ever met that has any type of, and I'm not talking to mediocre motherfuckers that think they, I sing. Oh, really? Yeah, I sing karaoke every Friday. Oh,
That's not
I'm not.
That's a hobby.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm talking about real
I'm good
musicians, real artists. They have always had one of two things. They have always had a connection with Earth, with Mother Earth, natural elements, whether in some way, shape, or form, or they had a direct connection with space.
You know, I didn't know you were an Earth, Wind, and Fire fan. Good for you.
I am, actually.
Same. Fucking right, yes.
Hell yeah. So I find that's always the thing. It's either they have a direct connection with nature or they have a direct connection with space?
Well, there's a lot of common theory with the resonance of how music is tuned with the frequency of the Earth, which is 432. And we did a lot of music in that tuning way back in the day. I couldn't tell you a year, I'd be lying. But 432 frequency music is used for therapy. And the instruments are tuned perfectly to the golden ratio
Through an ionic wave.
of the fucking universe.
Right.
And that shit blows my mind. It's beyond physics, it's beyond math, it's beyond science. It's something to do with the resonance of the universe. And as human beings, we could creatively use that to paint the medium, you know? And we've since changed from 432 to 440 because of that reason. The actual capitalism that was worked into the arts that eventually came to be changed from 432 to 440 because they didn't want that harmony. They wanted that disharmony or that dissonance between notes, and that's why all your pop songs sound the same now, and you only have 3-4 chord songs that are basically played to the radio. And there's a lot of people that they're so used to just hearing the same song over and over. They don't want to hear anything new. They just want that same thing repetitious in their head. So it's just like being able to say it's an effective method of brainwashing. So do yourself a favor, go look up some 432 hertz music. This shit will actually blow your mind a little bit. It's binaural. It is meant to cause therapy. And there's also a very dark side to it too. Because if the intent of the artist was to give you therapy, then it's there. But if the intent for the artist is to cause a little bit of a different direction, you could find yourself in a very different place if you're open to it. You have to be open to it. Just like being an artist in general, you have to be open to your surroundings and the nature that you live in to appreciate and know what's happening. Because if not, then if you go in thinking this isn't going to work or this is bullshit or whatever, it's going to be, you know?
Right.
No, you're absolutely right. Because let me ask you this. Like, throughout, let's say, the past 40 years, let's say even 50 years, how many people on this planet had the same 20 albums?
Shirley Temple Black.
I was going to say the White Album. I was going to say maybe Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. I was going to say AC/DC's Black Album.
What do you mean, like the same album?
Like albums by the same artist everyone on the planet has.
Oh, okay. Yeah, staples.
Exactly.
Sure.
So you think that in a way falls in line with the 432?
I mean, there's probably some kind of connection between them, more or less, from a standpoint of it didn't just happen, you know, like they didn't just have this one album and everyone has it now. They got brought to that change, you know, there were things leading up to events that made that happen, but I do feel like there's probably some connection to it. A lot of it deals with the difference in the structures of songs, how notes relate to each other, and the tempos that they're at that may have some resemblance to it, but I really don't feel like it follows like a golden ratio type thing. It's more or less from a standpoint of events leading to each other, and it's a lot easier to digest something like in that vein. I mean, Dark Side of the Moon, the Money is the first track to ever be played on the radio that was in 7/8 timing. Ding 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 ding. You know, that's not standard timing. That's not 4/4. So this was, of course, I'm not talking about jazz. Jazz was fucking its own thing. But your standard commercial music, money, was a very significant thing because Pink Floyd was able to take the structure and break it with that track. And they kind of paved the way for other people to be able to do shit like that, but they brought it on the level of it's an ascension, you know. It's more than what leads the eye on, and there's more to it than just a standard let me tap my foot to this song.
And it's also that drive of Gilmore and Waters constantly battling each other to be better. Right, so that's what brought on a lot of their weirder stuff.
Yeah.
They went from a very mainstream sound to of what was kind of like that normal indie rock in their earlier albums to the kind of weirder, spaced out, more, you know. They broke up, and I saw both of them live when they did their solo tours, and I mean, Roger Waters is good. Dave Gilmour blew my fucking mind, bro. Like, he made me feel some shit that I didn't know I could feel.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, resonant waves of music, the feeling of it is a very physical thing. And I've even read studies to where they can get certain waves to be a certain pitch to actually shrink down the size of a tumor to a certain state.
Yeah. There's therapy that's used. I've actually looked into going to school for that when I was trying to figure out what the hell I wanted to go to school for.
It's a huge hyperbaric chamber, and Tyler's outside just shredding on a guitar, and all this fucking sonic wave is coming at you.
And I just say in a microphone, "You like this?" No, I'd be like, "You like this?
Can you feel it?
Can you feel it?"
Quivering.
No, it's really cool that there's more properties to the art form other than entertainment, and I think that's amazing. There's a way more deeper level to it if you let it happen. That's the thing. If you just think music is music to entertain you, it is. Just like our show. Is this show just here to entertain you? Yeah, it is. But if you're looking for a deeper meaning, it's there.
It's when you hear people say, "I don't listen to music," and
What?
it's like, what do you mean?
What?
I don't listen to music.
You believe it or
I
not,
really don't listen to music.
this is actually coming more popular now because of us podcasts. More and more people don't listen to music and listen to podcasts now in their drive. I'm guilty. I do it.
But even before that, like, I've known people throughout my life that have said that.
Yeah, it's rare.
A song comes on, you know that song? Yeah, you never heard this song before? No, I've never heard this song before.
The Immigrant song from Led Zeppelin? You never heard this?
Everybody knows this song. I don't listen to music. What do you mean you don't listen to music? I just don't like music. You're a dead fucking person.
I don't blame that person, because if you think about it, all modern day pop music that's being produced by the corporate engine is garbage.
That's fine. You seek out
talented hacks.
You seek out talented indies.
That's not
in the genres that you like, and you find good.
That's
shit.
not all that's available, though.
Yeah, clearly, but it's being drowned out by mainstream radio companies.
They don't use mainstream outlets.
Exactly.
That's what I don't use mainstream outlets to find my music.
Exactly.
I can't remember the last time.
Back in the Gap,
that
I was the
happened.
only kid around listening to the Zootons.
I'll give you a
Nobody
great...
knew who the fuck that was, an underground indie band from England. And everybody in town, you know, but where are you finding this shit? Well, I'm pirating it off the internet like everybody.
Morpheus, motherfucker.
I'm just not you.
That's a great software to use for it, too.
Right?
I'm just not downloading Matchbox 20.
Get on Kazaa.
It's like here,
deep cuts.
That's
here, like LimeWire. That's another one. Like, here's a great, perfect example of a modern like a
Bear Share.
perfect example of a modern artist versus an old school artist. All right,
Sure.
Beyonce
Okay. Versus who?
Freddie Mercury and Queen.
Why do you compare the two?
In a cage match?
No, well, that'd be awesome.
Beyonce would probably kill him.
He would gay hair to death.
But seriously,
have AIDS.
It takes 20 people.
Jose Cuermos.
It took over 20 people to produce a single track on Beyonce, All the Single Ladies.
That's true, sure.
Okay. Freddie Mercury and the band of Queen, 4 people to produce Bohemian Rhapsody.
I've never seen Freddie Mercury dance like Beyonce, though.
He didn't have heels.
I'm playing white man's devil advocate.
My point is that you get a drum machine.
I'm also way more attracted to Beyonce, just saying. Today. When
Yeah,
the
I'll
Queen
give you
movie
that.
came out, it was a little different.
I would be a little more attracted to Freddie Mercury if he took on the persona of Joe Exotic.
Yes.
I don't... Why'd you have to do that? I didn't want to
Oh my
unlock
God.
that part
You're
of my
welcome.
Oh my
brain.
God.
You're welcome.
But I feel what you're saying. I do.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. But, like, that's... Dude, actually, Beyonce's extremely talented for what she does.
Somebody find my shit-covered squirrel.
No, like here's the thing. I'm like, you have these you have these modern day performing artists. They're great for what they are. All right.
Yeah.
But they're
For what, though?
Exactly, for shit. For example, I'm like, they're a great dancer, great choreography, great body to look at, great on magazines, and they're lip singing. I'm like, either be a dancer or be a singer.
Look, okay, let me put you in perspective here. It's the 1950s, and there's this young kid that's into a band called Queen, and you think it's the gayest, weirdest, dumbest shit you've ever heard in your entire life because you're jamming Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a time thing. I really think people are going to look back and look at Beyonce and be like, wow, she was classically just as good as Beethoven.
I ought to slap the bitch bun out of your hair, man.
Fuck you and the Beyonce you wrote in on.
Thank you for listening to Dank Swamp Rebellion. Check us out on dsrtalks.com.